Good morning, third graders. It's Mrs. Mangan. I am so happy I'm going to get to see you guys again today at 10 o'clock for our Zoom session. But if you want to get going before then, let's walk through the day. I hope that you had a great time last week for Wellness Week, taking care of yourself and each other and thinking about the broader world. I loved seeing your things on Seesaw that some of you posted for me. Keep up the good work. So this week I've put a new slideshow in your Google Slides social studies folder in your drive, and it's called April e-learning slideshow. So that is where you're going to be putting all of your new work into that slideshow. So I'm going to take a peek into Alex's folder, and you see it says April e-learning slideshow. So we're going to double click on that, and that is where you're going to dump everything that you do for all of the month of April now. So don't worry about transferring any of your old things, but starting today, this is where you're going to be putting your new work. As always, it's got the heading of the topic of the curriculum area, and then it's got the next pages that you can keep adding as we fill our folders. So we're going to put the name of the assignment always and the date, and that really helps me know what I'm looking for. It helps me organize to give you feedback. So if you need more pages, which you will, go ahead and hit that plus button, and depending on how you want to present your information, sometimes it's just with this title and body with the name of the assignment and the date, and sometimes it's a blank page and you can add text boxes to it. However you do it, just keep adding slides, but make sure I know what the assignment is and the date of the assignment. So it's got all of the categories. We added cursive because that will be weekly, and then we're going to be adding some more math challenges, so we added that in. So this is your April e-learning slideshow. Make sure you're putting everything from now on into that. The other thing that I've put into your folder is that we have our new Zoom sessions for today and this week. So this week, you're going to be seeing me 3 times, and you're going to be seeing Miss Cameron and Miss Sorensen on the off days with me. So every day you've got your schedule filled with some Zoom sessions. So click on these links, and that will bring you to the correct lesson. So that's in your folder as well. All right, let's go back to the blog. So 10 o'clock, I'll meet you. If you have any questions before then, go to the e-learning questions Padlet. This week, you're going to be looking at your new Words Their Way words, your new word study. So log into Pearson Realize. I put a little introduction into all of your assignments that gives you a little idea of what the rule is for your words this week. But if you're having trouble, hold off. We'll meet after our whole group Zoom today in some small groups to help you with any of your spelling questions. Okay? You're going to keep reading as you always are. I've seen some awesome reading in Epic. That's where I can kind of track to see what you've been reading and how long you've been reading. So keep doing that. It's kind of been fun for me to see what your interests have been. I'm going to teach you another poetry lesson about repetition. What repetition is when an author repeats a certain phrase or line or word over and over again, and it really helps the reader know that the author is really thinking that is very important, or it also kind of creates a rhythm to the poem. So you'll see about how poets use repetition in their poetry, and then you, of course, are going to go try and writing a poem using repetition in your Seesaw. So go ahead, write a poem, take a picture of it, read it to us, and put it in Seesaw, because then we can all see your poems once they're approved and published. So keep up the good work, poets. Mr. Grazia does a great first lesson about mass and weight, our new math unit. Please, please, please make sure you're watching these lessons. They are very important. This is the teaching that's getting done while we're outside of the classroom. So make sure you're taking the time, watching the videos, listening carefully, and then when you're done, you're going to complete workbook pages 7, 8, and 10 to practice what you learned in the video. Now, I realize that there's 2 different ways people have been doing their work with the workbook pages. One is they've been copying and pasting the workbook pages into their own e-learning slideshow. So here what we've done is we've just taken slides of the workbook pages, and what you can do is just copy this slide and put it into your own slide in your own April e-learning slideshow. And then, of course, you just add text boxes to put the answers in. Now, I know that other people are doing it by printing them out, and I've put that for the PDFs right here with those second links. So however you're doing it, whether it is the e-learning slideshow and you're copying and pasting it from one slideshow to another, or you're printing out the PDFs and then adding it to the slideshow later, you have two different ways to print it out or to get the workbook pages, e-learning slideshow or PDFs. Our introduction to the weather unit is going to happen today by me in our Zoom session. Our first lesson is going to be done with us all together. If you want to, though, you can get a head start by checking out the BrainPop video that I've assigned to you when you sign into BrainPop. Now, I have 11 people who have signed into my classroom for BrainPop. So here's how you do it if you have not signed in. So you're going to go to BrainPop and you're going to make sure that you press this G Suite for Education button. After you are logged in for G Suite for Education and you put your, J Kaplan 29 at scarsdaleschools.org and then JK in his 6 letters, you have to make sure you're pressing this button. After you do that, you're then going to put in this code MADE1783, and that's when you're going to be joining my classroom officially, and you can see all the assignments I've posted. So let me walk you through how to do that. So first you go to BrainPop. Then you see this where it says enter code and log in. You must log in first before you enter the code. So press log in and then do not do this. Do not put your username and password over here. You have to press with the G Suite for Education. Now it's going to have my two choices. I'm going to do my L. Mangan at Scarsdale Schools. And mine is already loaded in. You're going to put in your Scarsdale password or username and password. Then what you're going to do is hit your enter code. That's when you're going to put the code from down here, MADE1783, and put it in. Okay, and then you're going to hit submit. It's not going to let me do it because I am already in, but I'll show you who is already in the class so you know whether you have to do this or not. You can see that if you are one of these students, one of these 11, you are already logged in. You are already part of my classroom and you don't have to do this again. But if you are not one of the people that is on here, those are the steps you have to take. You have to log in with G Suite and then you have to put in the code and then you'll be officially part of the classroom. Now, if you're already in, you can just press this BrainPop weather assignment and it'll bring you right to the assignment. You're going to watch the movie. You're going to do the movie review quiz, and then you're going to read the related reading about weather. So make sure you do that before we meet together for our Zoom. If you're having trouble or anything, it's fine. We'll talk about it together at our Zoom, okay? Then there's two optional things for you today. So we thought it would be good to kind of continue the Wellness Week theme of taking care of others. And if you're looking to say thank you to all of the amazing people working at White Plains Hospital, you can do an art project. And any day from the 10th to the 17th, you can go ahead and create a special homemade drawing and put it in a Ziploc bag, and you can drop it off at 51 Lawrence Road, where there's going to be a donation bin, and it's going to be brought to the hospital. So cheer up those doctors and those nurses and that janitorial staff and all of the people that are working so hard on the front lines right now, and you can make a difference that way. Also, if you want to continue a time capsule project that happened in Wellness Week, you can click down here and it brings up a PDF of a way for you to kind of capture this time. It's a very special time in our history, and you can kind of jot down some photos or newspaper clippings, and you can remember all of the things that happened about you during this time. And then in a few years, you can look back at this work and remember what was going on during the time of the coronavirus when you were out of school and home with your families. So that is the coronavirus time capsule. These two projects are optional. So make sure today you're doing your Words Their Way you're reading, you're trying your poetry, you're doing your new math, and you're doing our science together. I will see you at 10 o'clock. I know this feels like a lot, so I'm glad we're meeting today. And any questions, of course, the Padlet, and I'll see you at 10. Bye, third graders.